Hi, and thanks for stopping by. My name is Matt, and I'm from Telematics Australia. The purpose of our website is to help potential buyers of telematics systems and fleet management systems decide what they need. To help you make that decision, we've prepared this video to explain what the chain of responsibility is. We hope you find it useful. Please take a look, and if you'd like to provide feedback, my email is matt@telematics-australia.com. So let's get to it. So what is the chain of responsibility? Well, it's to recognize the concept that many people are involved in managing the transportation supply chain, and all of these different people can have an influence on the safety of that operation. So this is called the chain of responsibility, and it includes people such as the employer of the driver or the prime contractor, the drivers themselves, schedulers, consigners, consignees, packers, loading managers, unloaders, and loaders. So it's quite clear that the intent is to spread responsibility across everybody who's involved in operating fleets of trucks. Some examples of when chain of responsibility might apply. If somebody can influence a transportation activity and doesn't attempt to manage any risk, when business practices encourage drivers to exceed legal speed, load or rest limits, or when managers don't ensure that their drivers have correct licenses, or when other instructions or demands contribute to an offence, or when, for example, schedulers cause drivers to exceed speed limits so that they can meet the schedule, or when vehicles are not maintained to legal standards. So all of those can involve a lot more than the driver. And the penalties can be substantial. You can see here that the legislation allows for fines of up to $300,000 for people, for individuals, and up to $3 million for companies, and jail terms of up to 5 years. And I know that there was a recent case with about $250,000 worth of training and so on under chain of legislation compliance issue. So how to implement chain of responsibility? Well, the regulator recommends that the best way to do it is to have safety management systems in place that identify, evaluate, and control risk, manage compliance with speed, fatigue, mass, dimensions, loading, and vehicle standards requirements, that have regular reporting and document and record actions taken to manage safety. So all of those items in bold there, I'm going to go through in more detail one by one. Let's start with identify, assess, evaluate, and control risk. Now, fleet management systems can help with this because they include functions such as driver coaching, leaderboards or ladders, so that drivers can compete against each other for safe driving. You have immediate incident detection in case of an accident, and you can, with cameras installed in the cab, you can replay incidents and find out what happened, so that you can monitor, that you can modify your processes to control future risk. So fleet management systems are quite useful to comply with this requirement of identify, assess, evaluate, and control risk. The next is regarding compliance with specific legislation on speed, fatigue, mass, dimension, loading, and so on. So I've broken them down further. With speed, the in-vehicle unit of a telematics system can monitor and record real-time driver behaviour. So you have a record of how fast they were going and when they were doing it. This data is available real time, but is also recorded, so it makes drivers more accountable for their vehicle use. Many telematics systems also include in-cab driver coaching to ensure real-time compliance. So speed can be controlled by telematics and fleet management systems. Fatigue the same. Many fleet management systems include electronic work diary functionality to control rest periods. So if you implement electronic work diary, then fatigue is also under control. Mass, you can monitor the mass of vehicles per axle, and you can set up alerts if the vehicle is overweight. And vehicle standards. By implementing pre-start checklists, you can ensure that at the start of each day the vehicle is up to spec. You can also generate follow-up maintenance activities if the vehicle is not up to standard. So fleet management systems again can help with that. Regular reporting and document or record actions taken to manage safety. Well, fleet management systems can generate speeding and other infringement reports. They can create vehicle defect reports, and they can record all the history of of what has happened. So speeding and other infringement in history, other disciplinary actions that might have been taken against drivers. You can record the actual mass history. You can record vehicle defect reports and follow-up actions. And with the electronic work diary, you record drivers' working and rest periods. So again, fleet management systems can be really useful for chain of responsibility. But that's not all that fleet management systems are good for. They can also help with fuel savings, labour savings to help optimise your fuel tax credit claims and improve your customer satisfaction as well. So can I suggest, if you want to learn more about this, please take a look on the rest of our webpage or our website at www.telematics-australia.com.